So this week is week 8 of Production Studio. We're at the end of it. We're getting ready for our build on Wednesday. Wednesday is our lockout date for code. We're getting a lot of our implementation done for 2 of our biggest systems. And we're looking good for showing those off, not having all the functionality, but at least the core basis of what both of those are, along with finishing and fleshing out a lot of our environment for this first section. We should be about ready to finish up what we had scoped about halfway through our Sprint 4. So we're looking good on time, because once we get to Sprint 5, that's going to be only polish, because we're not really going to be able to implement much in 2 weeks' time. So getting ready for green light and everything like that. So far, we're going good on that. Blockers, we're not really having many. It's just making sure that we keep backups and we cover ourselves when it comes to the programs glitching out, because we've been having that every once in a while. So we're looking into that. Otherwise, I'm just going to let the team go through what they did this week.
Oh shit, it's Michaela Farrell, lead artist. I finished the rigging and weight painting, so hopefully that goes well. I'll keep myself open in case there's any problems when it goes into Unity. Well, that's possibly not going to happen or happen. I'm going to do assets for the forest area.
Alright. Devin Garrett, programmer. This week I spent it wrapping up with my iteration of the node system, and then working with Raina in order to compile each of our iterations of it together into a combined format for both the front end and back end of it. For this next week, we're going to be continuing with that same process of compiling everything together, making sure it's working, making sure that it's able to be used for the other systems in the game. And that's about it. Nothing's currently really standing in my way.
Travis Bodine, programmer. This week I just continued working on refactoring the combat system. Basically, we got the turns working. We just need to implement the functionality that we had done, so it should be really easy. Next week, I'm going to start working on an inventory system, and that's pretty much it.
Christopher Kuhn, programmer. This week we worked on the combat system and the combat manager, got all the turns working. Did a lot of refactoring old code, and we still have a little bit left to go with that in implementing the pawn abilities to perform things. Once we finish that, we're going to move on to an inventory and item system. So I'm going to build all the item templates, and Travis is going to work on the inventories. Nothing's blocking us right now, right? Nothing's blocking us, and I think we're doing pretty well.
Raina, programmer. This week I worked on, I had to refactor my node system to work with canvas objects instead of game objects, which wasn't too difficult, other than research on how the heck the canvas drag and drop worked. Other than that, after that, we worked on combining Devin and Mai's node system, and got those things working, integrated together almost completely. And we are working on getting them polished and working with at least a basic skill system at this point. So nothing really standing in our way, just getting everything done.
Austin Meadowcroft, designer. This week I worked on some world building and some paper mapping.
Connor Bish, designer. Today I worked on getting a temp track set up, and yeah, that's basically it.
Hello, I'm Alec, and I'm now a world builder for Guardian's Legacy. This week I spent about half the time getting familiar with the project, and the other half of the time starting to actually build the world. Next week I'll finish out fleshing out a lot of the broader concepts for the game, and there is really nothing standing in my way.
Zachary Ben, artist. This week I textured the outdoor walls, created more environment textures, helped with world building, made a tree, and finished getting the basic assets for the first house out to the designers. And next week I plan on doing, well, more texturing for environments and getting stuff to start with the town, model-wise, in addition to just getting what needs to get done. Whatever the hell that means.
Brendan Lima, artist. I started making the tables, the chairs for the bar and the taverns, unwrapping those, finishing those up. Next week I plan to make gravestones for the outside for more decoration purposes. Anyway, nothing.
Peter Tibble's lead designer. This week the designers had a pretty big meeting doing world building, starting the story and whatnot. And then the second half of this week I was assetting out the hub worlds, filling it various assets I've got from the artists. Next week, moving on, is going to be a mixture of more documentation, more meetings, more looking at the start town and getting all that connected in.
Overall, the project's going pretty well. There's not really many blockers on the project right now. Along with that, I've been doing outreach with our third-party contributors to make sure that we can get the content going with that. One is a music composer, and then we just assimilated a new person from the marketing class for the grad program. So I'm making sure that we're good there and that they get caught up to speed and can start contributing to the project at this point because we're ready for them to start doing stuff. Other than that, we're doing well. So that's it for this week.